Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Vermont Williams Sr. Welcome to another episode of Bridging the Gap. Um, Again, it was originally um, called Bridging the Gap Between Black Men and Black Women. I changed the name basically because I would like to encompass most races, black that are not black, either men or women. Okay, so with that being said, I still got last night's show airing. I don't know why that is. Um, in stream, I'm live. I know that it's saying that I'm live, but I'm not seeing me live. So maybe it's this thing lags sometimes. So maybe it's just a slow response. Yep, there we go. There we go. Okay, we got a good topic for you tonight. As always, I would like to thank you for those that can tune in. Presently, those of you that view these videos from abroad, I thank you. I hope you enjoyed the content of these, what wisdom and knowledge that I have to share. Again, please let me emphasize this. The things that I say on here are based on my experiences. It's not biased. I do not, and I repeat, I do not dislike black women at all. Okay, I don't like the mindsets, and that's my given right. But I do not dislike black women. My mother was a black woman. My grandmother was a black woman. I was married. My kid's mother was a black woman. My second wife was a black woman. I love black women more so than anything. I think that, black women are the true essence of life, you know, but it's these ideologies and the perspectives that they've incorporated into their lives over a course of years based on, you know, this systematic thing that was designed to destroy the black culture from within. Because if you can brainwash the woman pretty much influences the whole culture, then it would kind of destabilize the man. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into this. I hope everyone is having a blessed evening. I'm gonna do my very best to articulate this and what I mean, about this title, this subject that we have. Again, a lot of you will see this at a later date, and that's fine. If you're interested in being a part of the show, I used to put up the website, but what you can do is send me your email. You can either DM it to me. My email is up here, ramontewesley@gmail.com. Email me, let me know that you're interested in being a guest on the show or being a panelist. There's a difference between a guest and a panelist, okay? So I'm gonna let you distinguish the two. Um, Once I get the information, I'll compile all this stuff, and until then, I'll keep doing solo bolo. But again, my name is Ramont. My email is ramontewesley@gmail.com. Send me an email, DM me on Messenger, and let me know what your intentions are, and I'll get back with you. Okay. When people start coming on and putting comments, you won't be able to see the comments unless I click them onto the screen. If they're not relevant to what the topic is or what I'm speaking about, I won't even entertain it. You have a lot of ignorant people out here. People will chime in. They would, I think a lot of people just sit around and just web search just so they can be rude and disrespectful. But we're not going to have none of that on this show, okay? So with that being said, let's get going. Are women willing to change their attitudes in place of their costumes? Now, if you're asking me or wondering what do I mean by costumes, I'm talking about all the bullshit that women wear. Okay. Granted, women are supposed to do whatever they feel they need to do to make themselves or enhance their looks or their beauty or their attractiveness, whichever one you choose to convey. But I think oftentimes and not, particularly black women, okay, they don't see the bottom line to this. Everything in life is based upon money now. Everything, okay, from the Vatican all the way down to the mom and pop shops. These rich people are setting up what we call generational wealth for their families to come and their families and their families and their families. We're the only ones, the majority of us, and I had to include myself in this at one time. We're not taking our money and investing it. We're not saving it up. Yeah, we may have, a little insurance policy, or we may have a few 30, 40, 50, $60,000 saved up, a burial insurance and policy, but we're not really leaving anything for our children. And the reason being because we're stuck into this mindset, which I'm about to talk about tonight, with women, not just black women, but women in general. Because black women, when they put on these costumes, the hair, the eyelashes, the nails, granted, some of the nails are adorable. They look wonderful. I think women wear them for all the wrong reasons, though. Unless you're scratching a man's back or you're going out, or but some of the females are just ridiculous. But for the most part, females to me enhance the woman's beauty. It articulates certain, I don't know, a little vibe that they got going. Depends on the style of the nails. But anyhow, we'll talk about and include the butts, the breasts, the body augmentations. Some of these women, and I'm not so much talking about black women, because most black women are enhanced with beautiful lips. Okay, I love a woman with beautiful lips. I'm talking about a lot of these different other races, women with these lips, and then I'll talk about each aspect of the body as I believe it to be. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about first this hair. Okay, you want to look beautiful. Okay, that's fine and dandy. You say you're an individual and that you're not trying to copy anybody. But I can refute that with anybody, because I see this on a day-to-day basis. I go to these beauty supply shops to buy things for my daughter. Okay, my baby little girl. And it's sad how you women are not ingenious or creative enough to use or utilize what God has given you and make it work. Everybody want long hair down their back. That's almost like saying, every man want a long penis. You got to work with what you were given, but it's sad when I see these women with, and I don't know the variations of this, if they're wigs or weaves or implants or whatever it is. But it's funny to me because I used to wear a Jerry curl, believe it or not. I used to have very long hair. And when I see these women with this long straight hair, and it all looks the same, kind of straight a little bit here and then a little waves in it. How can your hair be straight here and nappy from here all the way up here and around here? That doesn't make no sense to me. That's very tactful. And even though a lot of men don't look at it because they're just thinking they're horny, they're led by their physical desires. It just come on, sisters, y'all gotta get it together. It's looking bad. Secondly, you know, let's talk about the eyelashes. Okay, and then I'm gonna talk about everything that encompasses this topic. The eyelashes. I was talking to a friend of mine who happens to be Hispanic. Okay, and she's older, probably in her late 40s. Very attractive lady. She got her eyelashes done. So me, I'm the type of person when I don't know something, I inquire because I want that knowledge. So I know somewhere down the line the conversation is going to come up. I want to at least be knowledgeable of the conversation. I don't want to put my input and look like an ass. Okay. So I asked her, I said, so, that looks decent on you. Okay. These were my exact words. I said, because they're not extended way out here. Like I see some of these high school, middle school girls, young 20s, late teens. You look very foolish. But back to my friend, she had hers done, and I said, "Well, what is the process? Do they layer them on?" And she say, "No, it's like a 2-hour process. They do them individually." I said, "Well, how long do they last? 6 months?" And she said, "No, a couple of weeks." So I got to thinking. I said, so someone then came up with an idea, very ingenious, to do eyelashes, because we know, or they knew when they created this product, that most of the people that would buy this shit would be Black women and Hispanic women. Okay? Because for some reason, the majority of women today like wearing clown suits. That's what I call that shit, clown suits. But anyhow, back to my friend. Okay? When she explained to me the process, I said, wow, you have to get that shit done every 2 weeks? And it's painful, but you're willing to sacrifice the pain just so you can compete with all these other goofies and clowns? Because that's what that shit looks like. And I know she kind of took offense to that, but I didn't mean it like that directly towards her. I meant basically, it's not very impressionable. Okay, I can understand someone doing it who was having chemotherapy or something like that, and their eyelashes was going, and they wanted to put some on there to kind of replace the ones that they lost. But goddamn, 3, 4. Seriously? Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the lips. It is ridiculous. I browse these sites to gather information that I need for my podcast and just for myself personally. And I see a lot of Hispanics. I see a lot of Caucasian and other ethnic groups of women outside of Black women. And don't get me wrong, there's some Black women too. You go and get your lips, whatever this Botox or whatever this shit is you putting. You know what? I wish I was knowledgeable enough to put pictures up on the screen. You would probably laugh to death, even though some of these people are your friends and your family members, your moms and sisters. You look like fucking idiots. Look like you just got out of a fight with Mike Tyson or Holyfield. Your lips look all puffed up and shit. That is not sexy or cute. I don't know who told you to go and get that shit. I don't know who's telling you that shit looks good on you. Come my way and get my opinion. I can pretty much guarantee you probably walk around until that shit goes away with a mask on, talking to me. Because it looks crazy. Okay? So let's move on. Breasts. I know women that had breast implants. I personally dated some, and I'm here to tell you that that's got to be, I don't know what they're doing for those millionaires, but I know for you hood women, low profile, low budget ass females that's going to get this shit done, and your shit is sticking out here like this, and it's hard as a fucking diesel tire. Come on, man, that shit is not attractive. Who are you attracting? These online pervs that have nothing to do, that they're rushing home, can't wait to go to the bathroom on break, and they're sitting on the toilet, scrolling through this shit, looking at this shit, getting a kick out of this shit. Come on, man. Shit is not real. It don't feel real. I don't know about the ones that, the high-end ones, the ones that I've experienced are not very appealing. They're not. You know, I'm talking about, and I'm gonna tell you, once I go through these body parts, I'm gonna tell you why I feel the way that I feel. Okay. Now, I was just watching something on, I think it was Facebook, how women are getting these shots in their abdomen area and in their obliques. And if you don't know what obliques is, because a lot of you people are dumbasses, you don't read. Obliques are the sides, what we call love handles, and in their back, because these are parts of the body that deposits a lot of fat deposits. Okay, they're getting these shots, and as I researched what these shots do, it dissolves the fat, and the body absorbs it and kind of takes it away. So now you get these women that go in the gym, and this is the shit that's funny to me. Okay, everybody has this microwave mentality. They want shit done like this. They don't want to work for shit. They don't want to sacrifice for shit, but they want it like this. Okay, so now you get these doctors that come up with these injections to dissolve body fat. So now you get these women that look like they got inner tubes around them. You know, look like the clumps, and then all of a sudden you see them 6 months later, they're trimmed down, looking like J-Lo. Come on, man. I've been working out. I'm in my 60s. I've been working out 40 years at least, and it's still a struggle for me to keep my stomach flat, because I'm not going to eat no rabbit food for the rest of my life. I'm going to enjoy shit. I'm going to eat healthy, of course. But you can't tell me that you just went away for a month and come back and you was 300 pounds and you got a flat ass stomach like you've been doing abs for 10 years. You people are ridiculous. You women are sorry as fuck. You're lazy as fuck. All you do is complain and beg. It's amazing how you making these people rich by destroying your bodies, because you're trying to do it, everything that everybody else is doing and look like everybody else. Get your ass in the gym. But don't come in the gym after you had all this cosmetic surgery done and start doing squats and shit like you actually worked to gain that. No, you didn't. Okay? It's the same thing with the thighs. I'm seeing all this shit on Facebook and these other sites, how these women are getting these injections in their thighs. Some look decent, but the majority don't. And then when you talk about the gluteus maximus, which is your ass, your butt, come on, ladies, you can't have ass sticking out like a damn near Lincoln Continental bumper, and you got legs this goddamn small. It don't look right. I don't know what you were envisioning when you went to that doctor and asked for that shit, because this is what you ladies have to understand. That when you augment your body, you're basically destroying it, because you don't really know the side effects that these chemicals and these injections and the things that these doctors are doing. All you're going by is what somebody told you and what you've seen the end results to be, but you're not knowing what the long-term results are. Okay? So let's go on down the anatomy and get down to the feet. I know a lot of you women like getting your feet done, your toes done, but this is what's funny to me. Okay, I see women all the time in the places I go. I don't do this high end name brand shit. That's not my thing. I spend my money on more things that's more tangible. I'm not trying to fuck Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Versace. I don't care nothing about them homosexuals. Tommy Ford, none of them, okay? But I see you women out in public, okay? Now we're talking about feet now. You got your hair half-ass done, okay? A lot of you got all these, well, I'll get to that next, about these piercings. You know, you come out, you look a mess. Look like you just got through fucking 10 dudes and just got up from an orgy and you ran out to the store. Okay? How do you come out in public like that? You have these open-toed shoes on. Some of you women have beautiful feet. And then some of you shouldn't wear it. A lot of you should wear tennis shoes all the time, even to bed. That's how bad your feet look. But this is the part that gets me about the feet. How do you wear open-toed shoes and you got so much crust and shit on your heels, but you have your toes done? Show me how that makes sense. And show me the type of men that lay up with you nasty ass females that look like that. So you want to rub your feet, your heels on my legs and scratch my shit up like a tiger? I don't think so. Okay. Let's talk about these piercings that you women are putting all over your body and don't realize also the effect that has on the anatomy and the possible blood poisoning shit you can get because you've seen so many people do it and they told you that it's safe if it's sanitized. It's bullshit. Do the research, do the study. A lot of you black women particularly say, well, that's a part of my heritage. We have African culture here in Vegas with Somalians. What else is it? I can't remember the other names, but it's a whole culture of black Africans. These people are actually from Africa. And I haven't seen none of them wear that shit. So you make up shit as you go along, and that's fine. You know, you have a right to your own style, your own design, but you know, make the shit make sense. Okay? So now, with that being said, we talked about the whole anatomy, other than your private parts. I didn't know this until just recently that women are actually going into doctors, to surgeons, okay, and having their uterus and their vaginas tighten up. And I'm saying to myself, wow, they can think of everything in the world to enhance a woman's body, but they can't get fucking water to the city. It's amazing. But my question to you women, and a lot of you that get this shit done, you don't tell your friends. You'll tell them everything else about who you fucked, who you sucked, how much money you conned somebody out of, who bought you this, bought you that. But you don't tell them that part. You know why? Because you have so many fucking skeletons in your closet. They don't even have a graveyard big enough for them. And this is just reality. So you go and sneak and get, oh, girl, I'm going out of town. But you're actually going to see one of these surgeons. What woman realistically, even after having children, God designed your bodies perfectly, okay? Where your shit can spread this far, releasing a child, and then it goes right back to the way it was supposed to be, the way it was designed. But because a lot of you females are so perverted and so nasty, you got all these fucking dudes running through you. They bang your fucking walls out. Now you finally get a man that's not endowed like you used to participating with, that you like, but he can't compete with that shit. A motherfucker have to put on 2 life jackets and probably still sink. You know, I'm trying to put some humor in this, but the sad reality is with you women and these costumes that you have, that you go out and you invest all this money in. And when I say costume, I'm talking about body parts too. I'm not only talking about body parts, I'm talking about the clothes you wear. I seen a lady that's kind of popular on social media. I don't remember her name, but I think she's here in Vegas. Okay. And the shit that she wears look like something straight out of the fucking 60s that my great grandmother would have wore. But because they modern dated and say this is the style, her dumb ass goes out and buy it, and she's parading around like she's on a runway. And I'm saying to myself, you look dumb as fuck. Who told you that shit looked good? Why can't you women keep it simple? Why does everything you have to do have to stand out, be so loud, so provocative, where you leave nothing for the imagination? Nothing. All this goes with your attitudes. Okay, this is the topic, your attitudes. Talking to a friend of mine, and I spoke about her yesterday, and I'm pretty sure she's watching. So I'm not going to be disrespectful because I told her I wouldn't be, but I'm going to say this, that you women claim or profess that you want good men. A lot of you say you don't even need men. Okay, that's fine. That's your right. That's your choice. But when you say you want a man, it's coming to a point in time, and I will emphasize this adamantly on my show every night. You must specify what type of man it is. Don't say high value man, 6-figure man, man with a dick down to his knee. No, don't say that. Be more specific about the type of man you want. But remember, when you convey what it is you claim you desire, also add in there what you're willing to do. And I'm not talking about bringing to the table, what you're willing to do in order to reciprocate that type of man. Because a lot of you women, not only are you believe you're entitled, not only do you not live in the realms of reality, delusional, and the list goes on, but a lot of you are straight up ignorant. You act the way you act, you think the way you think, most of you because you don't have no formal education. And even the ones that do have education, you can't help yourself because your attitudes, it's the things that you put in there, the things you embrace, your ideology, your perspectives about life. It's what defines your attitude. Okay. I had to tell this lady today, we stayed on the phone for a couple hours. I got kind of upset. I'll be the first to admit it, because I'm trying to explain to her, you wrote me these long drawn out texts, and you not only insulted me, you disrespected me. Now, I could have easily been disrespectful back and got on with the slander, the name calling. That's not my character. I'm not playing those games anymore. Okay, you're either gonna come up to my level or fuck you. You can stay down and wallow in that bullshit. It's just that simple. And while we were talking, she still couldn't grasp the fact why she felt she needed to apologize to me. But you're wondering why I bagged off you. I'm not talking to you. We're not conversing like we used to. Because at the end of the day, fuck an alpha male. I'm not an alpha male, I'm a man. Okay? I think like a man, I talk like a man, and all my ways are that of a man. You disrespected me. You said some things that you can't take back, because unlike a lot of you people, I don't erase my texts. I'll keep the motherfuckers on my phone for 10 years. So if I need to rehash shit, I'm scrolling. Oh yeah, I got you right here. And she kept trying to justify, you need to explain to me how you felt I disrespected you. Even after I read the text to her, she read it from her phone. This is what I'm talking about when I mean attitudes. You know, this is what I mean. Even though her attitude is not as harsh as a lot of you women's are, it's just your mindset, the way you think. You women are so caught up in your masculine energy. And that this is a pretty woman, a half-breed woman. She runs a business. She owns a business. She's creating more businesses. So she got her shit together. Except this, when it comes to relationships and men. And I told her this. I got love for and respect. That's the reason I didn't disrespect her back. The conversation got somewhat heated. And she said, well, I don't understand why you're getting so upset. I'm getting upset because it seems like I'm talking to the fucking wall. When I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you an example. You women, when you're with men in relationships, whatever type of relationship it may be, when something is not going right, something is not going your way, if you're smart and you know how to articulate to this man your feelings, you create a conversation, a dialogue where you're telling him, this is the problem. I need you to fix that problem. I'm hurt by what you said or what you did. This is a balanced woman. This is a mature woman I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you ignorant ass females that come in the house slamming doors and shit, talking shit, kicking your shoes off, you know, like you really want to throw your hands up and get your ass slid somewhere. And then you want to call all your punk ass brothers and family members and call the police and get them involved when you just ran up in this motherfucker like some nigga off the block. Don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning any violence towards women. What I'm telling you is 99.9% of the time, domestic violence is created by women with fucked up attitudes. I'm not saying that it's right for no man to put his hands on a woman, despite what she's saying. But just like I told my friend today, what the fuck do you expect me to do? Look at the things that you text me. You text me things about my daughter's mother that had no relevance to our conversation. If that's not spiteful, if that's not vindictive, what is it? It's your fucking attitudes. You talk to us men like we're bitches. You talk to us like we sit on the toilet and squat and take pisses, and you stand up and take a piss. But you want to be respected in the same words. Life is based on a process. And a lot of you haven't figured it out, and a lot of you will never figure it out. Every time a man mentioned the word submissive, you relate it to control. Look it up in the dictionary. If you don't believe Webster, then make your own fucking dictionary. Being submissive is not control. If you follow the process of life, and hold on 1 second. Let me do this. Okay. I have a point to prove here. In fact, give me just a second. Don't go nowhere. I'm supposed to grab my Bible. Okay. Let me prove my point here. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I'm very passionate about the things that I believe in and the things that I talk about. Okay, so if I seem upset, I'm not. It's just, I get kind of a little excited when I'm sharing things, but we're going to go to the Bible, okay? Now, some of you don't believe in God, and that's fine. Let's see. I'm coming out of the book of Genesis, okay? And I'm in, let's go to Genesis 1, verse 26, okay? I didn't write anything in this Bible, didn't add anything, and I'm not taking anything out, okay? I believe in this book, even though I believe that even though man wrote it, there may be some, over the years, some alterations and things of that nature, but for the most part, I believe the Bible to be true. Verse 26, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, sea, and it goes on. So in verse 27, it says, and God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. All right. Now, remember, Eve was not created at the time. So we go down here to verse 2, chapter 2, over here, verse 18. And it says, the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a help meet for him. Now, in the Latin and Greek terminology, well, Latin terminology, because this is where a lot of this stuff derived from, help meet means helper. Okay, that's what it means. So we're going to put this aside for a minute, this Bible, because the people that was inspired to write that were geniuses. Because even though that was written thousands of years ago, it's still applied today in today's world and everything that we go through. Okay, so God created man first in his likeness and his image, which means if God is a logical God, an ingenious and a creative God, then he had to create a man that thought like him. That's the reason men are logical. We're thinkers, and women that were made from man, because the scripture, I can go on and read where it says right here in verse 21, the making of a woman, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof, and the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. Okay. So when you create something from something, it's usually not the same as the thing that you created from. Okay. So if we go back to biblical times, and God, if you read Genesis, God never said that he was given. Now, this is my point about the submission thing and this attitude. Watch how all this meshed together. Okay. When God said what he said, I give you dominion over everything, he did not include woman. So, but God created a divine order. There was first man, Adam, the first alphabet. Then from that, he created Eve, which is a part of Adam. There's a divine order, okay? Had Adam done what he was created to do, which men don't do today, they get outside of their roles because they're trying to empathize with these women for various reasons, whether it be sex, manipulation, fear, control, lack thereof, whatever it may be. They get outside of their role and watch the consequences that follow afterwards. Women base everything on emotions. We don't. Okay? I said this, I'm going to say it again, and I know I'm going to get a bunch of flack from it, but I know this to be a fact. I wasn't there, but I know this by reading between the lines. Because when you go to chapter 3 in Genesis, and you were talking about the serpent. Now you can read it for yourself as Eve is interacting with Satan. I believe, without it being documented, that Satan seduced Eve. And in the process, her realizing her sexuality, because remember when God created Adam and Eve, they were mortals, meaning they would never see death, but they were flesh and bone. A lot of you can't wrap your mind around that, and I understand, and it's okay. But I believe that Satan seduced Eve, and what I mean seduced, he had sex with her, because that's normally how you seduce people and manipulate them. And what she did is, in return, she went back and seduced her husband and manipulated him. Had Adam did what he was instructed to do, we wouldn't have all this chaos in the world. So I'm not going to put that blame on the woman. I'm going to put that blame on the man. Because, like I said, had Adam done what God instructed him to do and stayed in his essence, he would have told Eve, get the fuck out of here. You're not going to fuck off my immortality because you wouldn't laid up with that fucking snake. Where do you think the ideology or the analogy came from snake? From Satan. So if you go back thousands of years, when people say you're a snake, it's usually a person that have characteristic traits that of a reptile. I don't mean crawling around on your stomach and shit and licking your tongue out and hissing and shit. That's not what I mean. It's just your demoralized way of thinking, no principles you live by, the whole shebang. You women wonder, and you say this all the time. I hear it all the time. I ask women, I'm talking to a lady right now, beautiful lady. And I asked her, why are you single? And the consensus is always the same. Oh, I'm single because I choose to be. That's odd. You came in the world by yourself, but you can't live in this world by yourself. Everybody that has tried it has failed and died. So what are you not learning? Granted, you don't want to be in a toxic relationship, but most of you women create the toxicity that exists in relationships because of the fucked up way you think. Your attitudes again. If your mothers and grandmothers had taught you how to respect, particularly black men, I'm talking about the black culture now. I'm gonna kind of squeeze this in a little bit. Had taught you how to respect men, we would be a lot far along advanced in life. See, the way the system was set up to destroy us from within, that infiltration like they did the Black Panthers and other groups, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you name it. Everybody that stood on that straight and narrow as God had created, this society has destroyed. What they've done to the Black culture is they brainwashed the woman. And in return, the woman used the kids that she's been blessed with to leverage her against a man. So now you inherently gravitate towards these negative ass attitudes towards men where you feel you don't have to respect a man. Now you wonder why all these brothers are creating these podcasts and they're speaking out. Now you got these women, and I understand why the women doing. They're doing it for the recognition and the financial gain they can get. Because most of the women that talk about women that's tactful and they're not playing their role and they're being disrespectful towards men. They don't know how to be submissive. Their argument, all the shit that men are saying they dislike. Most of these women, not all of them, but the majority of them are full of shit. They're only doing this because they didn't put on these fucking costumes, got in front of these cameras, these podcasts, and they said some shit. Boom. It went viral. Why did it go viral? Not because of what the fuck you said. It's because of the way you look. Come on, man. Don't take no fucking rocket science to see what the fuck's going on. Do we commend you for what you're saying? Of course we do. But underneath and behind all that fake shit, you have ulterior motives. Because I've yet to go anywhere. I've been to multiple states and seen any women out on the streets with bullhorns or anywhere else in any conferences saying the shit that's said on social media. So that's what made me conclude that it's all bullshit. You going viral. You got 100,000 followers. For what? The blind leading the blind. Because as soon as you acquire the financial wealth or stability that you feel you need, that's going to take you to another level, you're going to say, fuck all that shit. Just like the lady that was an Instagram model that did this podcast called Pineapple Something. It was like a dating thing. Beautiful lady, couldn't articulate shit, still can't. Now she didn't drop that show and she started another show where she sits on and all she does is slander and bash Black women. Imagine that. This is my point. The same Black women that you're slandering today are the same ones that made you a fucking success by saying how beautiful you were and boosted you up on Instagram. Now you done got to a point financially stable, you're recognized throughout the social media world. You're saying, fuck these hoes. I'm supposed to jump over here on the bandwagon with the men and ride this out, get more recognition, more accolades. Bitch, you fake as $3 Cambodian money. And I say that with my heart in my hand. I don't give a fuck how good you look. You're fake. Back to this attitude thing. I don't understand, ladies, what's so hard about you women compromising. What's so hard about it? Every man can't make more money than you. Every man can't make the same amount of money as you. But if you get past the materialistic shit and expand and open your mind, you will say, well, this is a man that possessed the characteristic qualities that I asked God for. So we're going to take what I have and we're going to take what he has and we're going to put it together and we're going to grow with it. That's what a team does. Show me anywhere where it's written or documented. I or me and we and us or team. You women are so far off track. Believe me, and I say this with my heart in my hand, if you didn't have a pussy, you wouldn't be worth shit. The majority of you. I'm not saying that for all women. I'm just saying the majority of you. You modern day feminists, independent, bougie, boss bitches, divas. I'm talking about you bitches. Excuse my French. I shouldn't have used the B word. But you call us a bunch of bitches and faggots and punks, degenerates, deadbeats every day. Yeah, I know. A lot of you women don't like my tone and you don't like the things that I'm saying, but it's okay. Because it's one thing I know for a fact, when I wake up in the morning, I probably have about 50 more followers. That's what's wrong with you people. You don't like the truth. What is it so hard for a woman to submit to a man? What's so hard for a woman? I'm talking about a real man. I'm not talking about these goofies running around, smoking a bunch of weed, can't keep a good job, working at all these temp agents. I'm not talking about those type of guys. I'm talking about real men that's got their shit together, that's trying to contribute to a sure cause. That's you creating a family and living in harmony together. Why can't you submit to a man like that? Why can't you make a commitment to a man like that, knowing that he's on point? He's a man of God. He's doing God's work. His mission. I'm not talking about no church house either. I'm just talking about the way he lived, the way he moved. Why can't you do that? Because you've been indoctrinated to believe this independent shit. If you women are so fucking independent, not the minorities, but the vast majority, Captain Birdseye, get off my thing with that bullshit, man. Almost made me lose my train of thought. If you are so independent, why are you still asking men for support, sponsorship? Why? You're contradicting yourself. You're living a lie. I don't understand it. But I'm going to say this because I'm going to bring this to an end, that until you women change your attitudes, until you women learn how to respect men, real men, not the ones that you run up and have these baby by and live in these toxic relationships, you're going to always live a trauma life. You're going to always be miserable. You're going to always try to fill that void with some substitute that never fits, like putting a circle in a square peg. It's not going to work. You're going to go through life pretending that you're happy when you're not. I don't care how much money you got, what type of gear you got, what type of house you live in, what type of car you drive. See, you have to get up every morning and look that person in the mirror. And that person is telling you, when the fuck are you going to grow up? When are you going to mature? When are you going to quit living this life? Because you're not me. We look the same, but we're not the same. And it's all based on your attitudes. Do you know how far we can be if we would just pull our resources together, dump our prides, our ego, this bullshit that we've been indoctrinated with, and I mean that for the men too, because all women are not prostitutes. You know, women serve more purpose to men, or should, than just being a warm body to jump up and down on or hump on. Women have more value than that. And I believe that with all my heart. A lot of women don't, but the majority do. Why can't we sit down and have an intellectual conversation about the true desires that's in our hearts, where we plan to be in the next 5 or 10 years? And I ask women this all the time that I meet online. Where do you plan to be in the next 5 years? I'm just doing something short range, and they don't fucking have a clue. So if I know the direction my life is going, why would I incorporate that type of woman into my life when she don't even know what direction she's heading? And see, that's what I mean about sitting down, having an intellectual conversation. Fuck all the pretense. Forget all the representatives that you send ahead of you. Why can't we sit down as adults? That's what you claim to be, at a table and say, listen, I don't know if you're going to like this, but these are the things that I like. These are the things I dislike. These are the things that I think would make a relationship with me very promising, very rewarding. And then she does the same thing. And then you compare notes. See, because people, this vibe that all of you keep talking about, I call it a spiritual kinship, because I think all life is based around some form of spirituality. So if I meet a woman and I feel that kinship, then the relationship is already formed. You're going to buy traditional things. Well, I need to know you, this Steve Harvey shit, a man that cheated on his wife, whose wife was an ex-felon and a hoe on top of that, but he's giving you advice. Wait 90 days. What the fuck is 90 days going to do? If you're not right in a day, I'm not saying you women should go out and have sex after meeting a man in a day, but if I'm just saying hypothetically, if you meet a man and you're dating for a week or so, you should know if you want to have sex with that man or not. You should know just through conversation and interaction with this man if you want to spend time with this man, get to know this man. Fuck Steve Harvey and all the rest of them goofies that put this shit on social media and TV. That's the reason he's losing all his fucking contract, because he's a fraud. You telling women to wait 90 days. You didn't wait 90 days. You and the prostitute you married to, and I'm saying that. Fuck him. I bet you didn't wait 90 days, and according to the rumors that's circulating about you didn't. But see, these are the type of people that y'all listen to. People that can't help and guide you and put you in the positions that you need to be in life. And then when you jump on their bandwagon and make the mistakes that they basically and intentionally undermined you and guided you to make, but under the guise that they were trying to help you, now you're sitting back looking stupid. I'm like, man, what the fuck happened? Because you don't think. You women are, I don't know what that means, folks. Manuel Valentino Roman. But anyhow, thank you for coming on board. But anyhow, what I'm saying is this. Find you a good man. Invest in that man. Let that man play his role. If he's a man, you're gonna know it. Let him guide you. Let him do what he was designed to do. Protect you, provide for you, counsel you. You take on the masculine properties when there's a need for it. When you're with that man, then you need to be in your feminine traits. That's where you need to be. Me, this is me, Ramont L. Williams Sr., saying this. I don't fuck with no women. I don't care how pretty they are. If they have any masculine traits, I don't want nothing to do with you. Because the first time you slip and call me a bitch or a punk, we got a problem. It's just that simple. So you have to change your attitudes in order to get the results that you claim you're looking for. Because every man out here is not trying to pimp you, not trying to use you, abuse you, degrade you. But you have brothers out here that will uplift you, cherish you, admire you, appreciate you. But you won't give them the opportunity because you're so traumatized. Your attitudes are so warped and so distorted and so tainted that real men that have been through shit, you sisters don't have no clue. You think because you grew up around men that were on drugs or been incarcerated or been in the streets, you don't have a clue what we go through. The same thing you need to excel, to keep that motivation, those aspirations, the inspiration, you name it, and the list goes on. We need it too. We're just a little bit more adorable. We hurt. We fear things. We get confused, discombobulated. Sometimes we don't have nowhere to turn when we need an answer. And the same person that God created for us for those reasons, you've turned your back on us. You women have literally turned your back on men. But you still advocate based on this feminist bullshit that men are dogs. Men don't want anything. Yes, some men don't. But what about the men that do? Don't we deserve love? Don't we deserve appreciation, inspiration, motivation, to be uplifted, to be appreciated? Don't we deserve that? That's what you're asking for. So what's wrong with us creating a team where we create that balance to enhance each other's lives? That's how God created. That's what you say you believe in. This shit is not hard, people. It's not. We make it complicated because of the shit that we put in here. And once we put this shit in here, it taints this, our hearts. And once this and this is in sync, it pollutes our actions in life. Okay? I can go on and go on with this, but I'm not. I'm gonna conclude this. We've been on the air for over an hour. Again, I would just like to encourage you women, you sisters. When I say sisters, I don't mean just black women. I mean Hispanic women, Latinos, what you call yourself now, Asian women. If you respect black men, because a lot of you Asian women like sex with black men, but you don't respect us. So you know that shows you right there. You got some fucked up shit going on up in here. But even to my Caucasian sisters, no matter what title you put on, Britain, German, Dutch, you're all Caucasians, so it doesn't matter. but you have to look at life from a broader perspective. Every man is not out to get you. Every man is not out to do you harm. Just because a man may have said something that remind you of something someone that has traumatized you have said and done, don't mean that man's total makeup is like that guy. And this is the realization that you women have to start coming to. If you want to know, sit a man down and talk to him. If he's a real man, he's going to sit down and articulate. I'm talking about like today. I got upset. I'll admit on camera, I got upset, but I still kept my composure. I never called that lady out her name, never disrespected her. And then at the end, we resolved it, because that's what adults do. Is her attitude going to change? Only God and her know that. Until she displays something different to me, I'm going to say yes. Again, it's not hard, people. You can talk about all the shit in the world that you don't have no knowledge of, but you won't sit down and discuss things that you both should learn from or about. You conversation bullies. Gav, shaking your head and come on, man. That's not how people communicate with each other. We have to get it together, people. With that being said, I love you. God bless you. Thank you for supporting me. I ask that you keep tuning in. I'll share what knowledge I have. I got other guests that'll be coming on soon in the upcoming episodes. I'm sure their perspectives, some will be embraced and some won't. That's just life. You can't be liked and loved by everybody. Okay? I wish you all the best. As I've always said, I'm a motivator and inspirator. My words tonight were not meant to be degrading, insulting, condescending, but I just based this topic on some of the things that I see. Now, if I was a comedian, y'all still be laughing. Okay, but I'm not. I'm not a comic. I'm just a man that's passing through this world that wants to love a woman that wants to love me. That's it. That's simple, that easy. The drama, too old. I can't do it anymore. I can't play in that arena. Either we interact as adults or you can stay over there, because I'm not looking for entertainment. Companionship, love is two different things. Entertainment, disrespect is two different things. I come home. I don't need to go out to be validated by co-workers, hang out, drink, do all that bullshit, be around fake people, laughing and joking. I'm content with me. I know me. I'm happy in my heart. That's the reason I can come home and come to my humble abode and relax in my haven, my tranquility, my peace. And if you can't add to that and you're bringing any disruption, you're not welcome here. So with that being said, please be safe out there. Until tomorrow, 7 o'clock, we're going to do this until we get our following up Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. unless they put me on a night shift and I'm unable to do it. But other than that, we'll be on every night, Monday through Friday. Okay. And I had said that I wasn't going to do Wednesday shows because some friends of mine has a show that's actually running right now. But just like both our shows, they got people that follow me. And I don't think that I'm taking anything from their show. Actually, I support their show. When I get off, I'm going to get on their show. So if you get a chance, support the Hams, Treasure and Big Sean. They're also on Facebook. And they talk about a multitude of things. They don't just talk about relationships. They talk about financing. They talk about psychological things, marriages, the whole 9 yards. My content is relationships, okay, between men and women. I don't care if you woman on woman, man on man. We don't talk about that on my show. What you do outside of my show is your business. I'm not going to speak on it. I don't care to know about it. But enough of that being said, please take care. God bless you. I love you. Let's get the likes up. I'm not so much concerned about the subscribes, but the likes. Let's get it up so these people can see that we have a following, that we're making a difference. You ladies out there, even some of those that don't like what I'm saying, come on in. Let's sit down and talk. On this show, you won't be buzzed out with loud sounds from the keyboard or nothing like that. You will be talked to with respect and dignity. I may not agree with everything you say. I will not address any woman as a bitch or a female on my show. If I use that terminology, it won't be directed at anybody in my presence. With that being said, come on, tap in, you guys, because some of you guys have a lot to learn about being men. Okay, I think I'm at that pinnacle in life where I know what it is to be a man, because that's what I am. And the bad choices, along with the good ones that I made in life, has created the man that I have become. And I thank God for all the good and the bad. So again, tap in. Let's dialogue. Let's make some of these women believers again, that we can protect them. We can provide for them. We can make them happy. It's within our power. It's within our grasp. We're men. We're strong, durable. We persevere. And if you're right, standing on God's word, you're going to have a whole bunch of love to make all that shine. So with that being said, good night. I love you. Take care. God bless. See you tomorrow at 7 p.m.